All right, hey guys, it's Ian again, coming to you with a video this time about Corona. So while you're here, don't forget to go check me out on YouTube, IBTV. I've got all sorts of stuff there that'll trigger all your leftist friends. So I just kind of wanted to go over some of the reasons why I'm no longer shaking in my boots 24/7 and going to ridiculous lengths to avoid getting infected with the novel coronavirus that we're all currently enjoying the governmental response to. So just to give you a bit of perspective for, I would say, the first 2 months when this sort of started coming down the pipe with alternative news sources, I mean, I was sitting there just going apeshit on Facebook because the thing of it was, is given the data that I had access to and that others had access to at the time, it looked like, seriously, like if you got this, it was a 1 in 5 chance that you were gonna be hospitalized. I mean, it looked like some Spanish flu level lethality type stuff. Fortunately, it seems like that is far and away from the actual case. But I would go to the grocery store with goggles on, and you can imagine with glasses, that's an even bigger pain in the ass. I had a respirator with fresh P100s. I'd wear baggy clothes and take them off before I got in my car in the parking lot. I mean, it was just fucking absurd. And, you know, even employing that degree of precautions, I guess, to try and avoid getting it, I probably still will get it. Everybody will. I don't think it's avoidable, because here's the thing, you know, let's say I take off all my clothes, whatever. All right, well, it's still going to be on other stuff. It could have got in my hair, and now it's going to be in my environment where it's going to live for days, literally days, if, you know, depending on how cold I keep the house or whatever, you know. But it was nuts. It was nuts. I was terrified every day, man. I mean, I would go to the grocery store, do all that crazy shit, and I'd get back here and then take some bleach diluted 1 to 10 and wipe down every corner of the groceries. I mean, it was literally insane. So then I've kind of checked out some of the other side's information and was able to kind of break the spell, I guess, that had been put on me, if you will, kind of think of it like that, with all these different, you know, retards in the media. So now it's like, dude, you get it, there's over a 99% survival rate, okay? Now, I'm not saying that it's not a threat and that it's not something we need to work around or plan for or keep in mind as we go about our day-to-day lives, but a total lockdown and shuttering of the economy is just, it's so out there, especially you know, to the degree that Whitmer, our governor here in Michigan, has done so. I mean, this is ridiculous. So we've got, I don't know, as you guys know, 70, 80, 60 years ago, whatever, decades in the past, Michigan used to be like a hub of manufacturing, primarily for vehicles, right? Well, you know, in the interim between then and now, a lot of that business was regulated out of the country and shipped overseas. Well, now let's kind of think about what's going on here. We're in a position where the rest of the developed world is still shuttered, except for sane countries, I guess, if you want to put it like that, kind of like Sweden, where they haven't locked down at all, and last time I checked, they're fine. So, but everybody else is shuttered, nationwide, worldwide. If we open back up and get back to business, who's going to be fulfilling the demand for products? Michigan and Texas right now. So bada bing, bada boom. This could literally be a once in a generation or multiple generation chance to seize back our position as a manufacturing base. You know, that would suck for people like me who enjoy cheap rent in places like Port Huron, but whatever, got to sacrifice, right? So I'm not I'm not terrified of getting the coronavirus. Some newer data with testing at homeless shelters, pre-screening for COVID-19 of pregnant women. I think it was in New York City. Some data from a month or two, about a month ago in Lombardy, shows that the prevalence of this disease is at probably, I'm going to say here on video, an order of magnitude greater than whatever it is today. So we've got right now, say 33,000 confirmed cases in Michigan. There's probably north of 300,000 people that have already had it. And the real travesty here is that with Whitmer's style of lockdown, you know, we're not like Laredo, Texas. We're not like Austin, Texas, where along with some restrictions on activity, people are required to cover their mouth and nose if they're outside of the house. And what that does is really arrests the spread of this particular coronavirus, because it's airborne. Like, we don't have to miss words. It's airborne. It comes out of your mouth, other people breathe it in, or it lands on products around you that people buy and then 3 days later use, and they're still exposed to viable coronavirus particulates, I guess you could say. So we've got a situation here in Michigan where everything is shut down, but places like Walmart, Meijer, Kroger, all these big box stores, you know, unsurprisingly with pretty shitty air circulation in there, that people are going into. You know, I was just at the store a few days ago. There wasn't even half the people in the store wearing a friggin' mask. So what's the point? There's no, you know, the stuff's still going to spread. You might slow it down a little bit, but people are going to the grocery store all the damn time now. So it's going to spread there. I think the idea that this protest that we did is just going to cause an explosion of COVID-19 cases is bullshit. So what if it does? Are you going to keep the economy shuttered indefinitely? Because that's what would be required, along with closing the state borders, sealing them with armed guards at every single possible entry and exit point to eradicate the virus in Michigan. And then once you opened it back up, it would just spread like wildfire anyway. So it's pointless. It's pointless, right? So if you have a sick relative or somebody who's susceptible to this, like they're immunocompromised or something, take every precaution in the world to keep them safe, okay? But the rest of us who are healthy should not be having potentially our entire futures and current livelihoods destroyed, or at the very least set back, just to keep safe the sickest 1% that they probably don't even have that much life ahead of them anyway. Let's be honest here, all right? Have we not been, charged enough, I guess if you want to look at it like that, for glossing over the truth and trying to pretend everything's nice? We have it good enough here in America to the point where we don't have to make domestic decisions that involve life and death. Now's our opportunity, all right? How many young people are dead because of the war in Iraq? How many young people sacrificed for that, for the boomers? Is it so much to ask that the boomers maybe take a little bit more precautions going out and about in their day-to-day lives so that we can continue, running the economic engine that pays for their standard of living? Is that really that unfair? How many old people do you know don't even leave the goddamn house when, unless it's absolutely necessary to begin with anyway? Those are the type of people that are most at risk from this, okay? So, excuse me. So I know, I'm 28, so there's plenty of people, I guess, not relative to the overall death counts, but there are people my age and younger who have died from this disease. Who knows why, How many young people do you know have died from the flu? Probably a similar proportion, okay? I encourage you to go look at some of the statistics pertaining to who dies from this disease and why. The overwhelming majority of them had some kind of underlying condition, and this being America, you've really got to ask yourself, how many of those people had an underlying condition because of their own mismanagement of their own health? So now you guys screw up your health, and the rest of us are supposed to, get fucked economically? How is that fair? That's borderline ridiculous, okay? So, again, as far as I can tell, Whitmer doesn't even have the authority to do this. So if you're watching this and you're a small business, I would say everybody just open back up. What are they going to do? Fine all of us? Okay, cool. They're going to issue some citations and we're going to go to court and we're going to see, do you or do you not have the authority to issue this fine? I think that's going to depend on how left or right leaning the state Supreme Court is, but whatever. Would you rather lose your business or would you rather pay an extra $1,000 a day, I guess, if that's what they're going to want to do to keep it open? But it's just stupid, And I realize as a guy who just sells houses that I'm not like some epidemiologist or virologist or doctor or what have you. But last time I checked, everybody on the other leftist side was not a fucking credentialed medical professional. So it doesn't really matter. I think on a kind of an aside here, this whole cult of expertise, pedantic obsession with sourcing and everything to eschew, I guess, thinking for yourself might have played a role in getting us to this point to begin with. So, just look at medical experts to see this person says this, one person says that. So obviously just relying on somebody or relying on whether or not somebody has credentials to determine whether or not what they're saying is true or false is not a good idea. In fact, it's I think when Socrates won 2,000 years, it's been known as a fallacious way to make an argument. It's called the argument from authority. So I guess look into that if you enjoy thinking. But yeah, more to the point, guys, this virus looks like the case fatality is going to be between 1% and 2%, which, yeah, that's a lot more than the flu. And yeah, that's going to spread very quickly in some cases. And in some cases, it's going to overwhelm hospitals. Okay, so, well, do you want to just delay it so those sick and weak die anyway? Or do you want to stop screwing over the economy so we can get back to work and maybe really come out of this on top? The genie's already out of the bottle. I don't think this is avoidable unless you've got some bunker with ridiculous levels of air circulation or air purification that are going to last for years and years and years. You can't avoid this shit. Come on, man. It's airborne. It lives outside of the body for days. Cats can get it. Bats can get it. I bet your rats can get it too. So no matter where you are, you could be 100 miles north up in the UP, and eventually you'd be exposed to it. And then you'd probably survive. So, at the end of the day, I think the lockdown to begin with for a little while, maybe a week, 2-3 weeks tops, was a good idea to get our bearings straight, get everything in order, figure this out, figure that out. Now, dude, we can't keep doing this, all right? Now, I just want you guys to think to yourself, who benefits? Who benefits the most from the economy being destroyed in an election year? Is it the Republican Party? Is it the Democratic Party? I don't know. that's for you guys to answer. So yeah, again, check me out on IBTV on YouTube. I also sell houses. I'm listing and selling and buying everything right now despite this bullshit quarantine. So if you want to do something in real estate, let me know. If I can't help you, I certainly know somebody who can help you. So anything I can do for you guys, let me know. I'd love it if maybe we have some comments I can make another video on in the whatever beneath this. So cool guys, thanks for watching.